Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome back to Stars Aligned Oracle YouTube channel, the Lucky Stars community. Cat Star here with a timeless reading or a new message, however you want to look at it. As a reminder, my readings are for entertainment and are general in nature. They may or may not resonate for everybody, so please do take what is for you and leave what isn't for those of you liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. I also want to give a huge shout out to all of the new and returning viewers and subscribers and to the channel members. Thank you all so much for being here. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. All right, so this is the advice deck. Feels like you guys need a little bit of advice coming up in here, so that is what we have. So this is like a kind of oh snap kind of energy, so let's see what's going to come through. We've got our dice here. We're going to just go ahead and roll all three. We've got a 4, a 6, and a 1. So here we are, 4, 6, and 1. I'll shuffle these a couple more times. And we are going to get the 4th, the 6th, and the 1st card out. Interesting. Okay, let's see here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to shuffle this again. I hope you guys are doing fabulous. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. And one more time. This time for the first one. Spirits are indicating to take the bottom card. So here we go. All right. Green is missing. So some of you this week, or for this time frame, for this specific message, whenever you come across it, it's timeless, so whenever you come across it is the right time for you. Maybe having something happening or going on with your money or with the green. It is here on the top, you see, so it could be coming in or coming up too, okay? Number 4 here, let's see, you've got to stop telling people what they want to hear. Oh, are you sugarcoating things? Stop telling people what they want to hear. Tell them the truth, okay? It doesn't mean you have to be aggressive. You can be assertive, but telling people what they want to hear feeds the ego, soothes the ego, that sort of thing, but it doesn't help anybody. And a lot of times you'll feel a little bit of sometimes it'll be kind of guilt for just saying what you think that people want to hear. Other times you'll feel a bit of a resentment, and a lot of times you won't feel very authentic, right? Because you're not being authentic. You're just telling people what they want to hear. Stop doing that, okay? Tell them the truth. Right? When they ask questions, it doesn't mean you have to be aggressive. You don't have to be like, rah, 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 or really in their face kind of stuff. But, tell them the truth, okay? Let them hear the truth. And if you are kind of somebody special, somebody important, maybe even authority, somebody that is an inspiration or that they look up to, it's going to mean that much more. And there actually is a higher potential that they'll actually listen to you. So, I mean, whatever this might have to do with, but also at the same time, make sure that you're not giving advice out the A, right? Out your bum here, okay? If it is something that somebody is asking you about, make sure that it is something that you actually know about, okay? Some people will ask other people, oh, what is your advice on how to, let's see, make money? If you don't know how to make money, and if you're not in a position for that, maybe point them in a direction towards somebody who does, okay? If somebody's asking you about gardening, okay? Because we've got the green there as well, right? If somebody's asking you about gardening and you don't have a green thumb or you're not a gardener, right? Be like, oh, okay, this is what I've tried. Has it worked? Maybe, maybe not. This is what I've learned doesn't work, right? And maybe point them in the right direction. But stop telling people what they want to hear. I don't know, this might not be a popular opinion, but this is likened to giving everybody a trophy, even if, right? Yes, beautiful improvement, great. We always want to be, giving positive reinforcement and positive feedback, and yet we also want to make sure that we are being honest and truthful, giving information, giving feedback, giving reinforcement that is actually going to help and or benefit. Okay, so that is your first piece of advice. Some of you have just been like, oh yeah, it's all good, oh, it's great, or whatever. I don't know. It's like a musical instrument coming up and somebody singing, and they're not the best. Could they be? Yeah, for sure. Practice, right? Maybe a vocal coach or somebody who like a somebody to teach them guitar lesson. I don't know, whatever it may be. I don't know why that's what's coming through, but and if you're just saying, yeah, no, that's great, it's beautiful, it's amazing, right? It's almost like setting people up for failure. We don't want to do that. We want to give them the truth, right? Give them, yes, it's, and potentially, maybe I heard this guy down the street who really plays really good. He could be even a professional guitar player or what have you. He might have some pointers for you as well, right? Okay, all right. Second one is 6. Okay. So if 4s or 6s have been showing up for you, this may be the advice that you need to hear at this time. Always show up for yourself, okay? Always show up for yourself. Sometimes we will give ourselves away. Could be together or 2 separate messages, but we'll give ourselves away. We'll kind of do everything and say everything and be all the things for everybody else, and then we don't show up for ourselves. We don't have anything left, okay? Especially if we're depleting it by telling people what they want to hear and showing up in all these ways and always saying yes and always being available, that sort of thing. We deplete ourselves and we don't leave anything for ourselves. So you've got to make sure that you are always showing up for yourself. You are the only you that you can be, right? And you are the only one that is always with you. So if you are not showing up for yourself, right? If you don't always have your back, but you have everybody else's and you're always telling people what they want to hear. So when are you giving yourself that time? When are you building yourself up? When are you giving yourself that positive reinforcement? When are you, telling yourself, I guess, what you want to hear, what you need to hear, right? If you're always giving it, giving it, when are you ever receiving it or giving back to yourself? Other people can give to us and it's beautiful, but we also have to be able to fill our own cup up. If we're always looking out for external validation or other people outside of us to give us what we need, it can be a very, very lonely place. And especially if we don't always have that external validation or that external support, right? We need to be able to show up for ourselves. We need to be able to nurture ourselves. We need to be able to be in a space of being in our own corners, right? Loving ourselves, supporting ourselves, picking ourselves up, showing up for ourselves. And if we're not doing that, and that has to be an always thing. It's not like once in a while we can do it and it evens out. And I mean, if you can't do it, then once in a while is better than nothing, right? But it needs to be always showing up for yourself, always having your own back, always listening to yourself, always giving yourself that positive reinforcement and feedback, right? But also not only just telling others what they want to hear, but make sure that you're not just telling yourself what you want to hear, okay? Make sure that you're actually being honest and being authentic and being truthful with yourself as well, because that's where the growth, the change, the expansion comes in, okay? You are part of this, okay? Stop telling people, including yourself, only what they want to hear. Always show up for yourself, okay? You got 4, 6. 4 plus 6 equals 10, okay? So you could be in a space of being on the edge and getting ready to move into a new space, like a completion here where you don't do this anymore and you begin doing this, right? You stop telling people what they want to hear and you begin always showing up for yourself. That could be this completion, this new cycle, okay? Now let's see, number 1, you are always number 1 and you always need to be number 1 in your own book. I know we can sometimes put children, parents, partners, friends, whatever above us, right? But we need to move back into that space of putting ourselves number 1, always number 1, not in this way, like you did this, I can't believe it, like, right? In a shame or a guilt kind of way, but in a way of, you know what? I can have grace for myself and I can have grace for others. I can open up space for myself to, really be able to show up for myself, to be able to give for myself and fill my cup up. And when I do that, I can also be able to give to others. And when I can be in a space where I am filled up, I can receive from others as well. So not only can you give, but you can receive. See, isn't that beautiful? It's reciprocal, okay? The last one that you have here is number 1, okay? So 1 plus 0, 10. Is 1. Okay, so it's leading you somewhere. This is a story that is leading you somewhere. Use your life experiences for your benefit. Okay, we can really get down on ourselves. We can really be like, oh my gosh, all this stuff happened, and I've had all these things and all these things and all these things just pushing me down, pulling me down. But could you use that to your benefit and be like, hey, you know what? This happened for the experience, for the knowledge, for the wisdom to help me lift myself and others up. This happened so I could see things in a different perspective, or I could be grateful for what I have, and or I could work harder for what it is that I want. And I can use this for my benefit. You have a choice here. Okay, you can either go left or right. Some can go down the middle and some can go down. All right, it's really up to you. Hopefully you get that metaphor that came through there, but you have a choice. You get to use it to hold you down or to lift you up, to benefit you. Okay, those experiences is that the experiences of that you've had, that you have been given, the gifts of the experiences that you have been given have been there to benefit you, to help you, to teach you, to mold you, to make you stronger. And I know sometimes we don't want to hear that. And yet with those experiences, you can do so many more amazing things than if you didn't have them, because you have that wisdom, you have that knowledge, you have the experience in itself, right? You know, depending on what your experiences are, how to do certain things, or how to go through, or how to overcome, or how to, right? More so than other people who haven't had those experiences do. Okay, let's say you learning how to play the guitar. Somebody that doesn't know how to play the guitar, has never learned it, doesn't know that experience or have that experience. So for you, if you are a very practiced guitar player, a very good guitar player, if you can know the notes and what have you, right, you could use that as a benefit to help somebody who doesn't, right? Now that is a very kind of mild example, but also, I mean, let's say bankruptcy. Potentially you've been through bankruptcy, okay? Not always the funnest time or something that everybody wants to do. And yet, for somebody who has done it, there's a potential that you can use that to your benefit and to others' benefit in the way of assisting others through it, or giving information, and or in some ways or another, depending on how your perspective is or how you think about it, a clean slate starting over. Okay, it just really, you get to use your experiences, the wisdom, the knowledge gained to your benefit. But again, that choice is up to you. You can use it to lift you up and others, and or you can use it to hold you down. It can be a crutch, or it can be a weight, or it can be those wings that help you fly. You get to decide. Okay, so this is beautiful, this advice that's coming through. Pay attention to how you use, or what story you tell yourself about your life experiences up to this place. Okay, can you rewrite it? Can you show it for yourself in a different way, in a new story? Begin to see yourself anew. Begin to shift whatever you have been telling yourself, if it hasn't been beneficial, about your experiences, to a space or a place where it's beneficial, where you're showing up for yourself, where you're not just telling people what they want to hear, and or yourself what you want to hear, because this all helps you and it helps you be of service to others. This is that reciprocation, that giving, that receiving, because when you, again, when your cup is full, you're giving to yourself, you're replenishing yourself, and you have more to give. Okay, so whether that is to others or to yourself, some of us, we don't have the capacity all of the time to give. Sometimes we need to take in our own energy, take in our own replenishment, take in our own kind of energy. We need to hold that sometimes so we can really begin to regenerate ourselves. And if that's where you are, more power to you, sending all of the love to you. I know that there's different phases, different places, but this is your 4, 6, 1. Okay, so 4s, 6s, 1s might be showing up. Also, 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 plus 0 does equal 1. You have this completion, this new cycle, and you're beginning. You're being reminded that you are number one. Always think to, this isn't in a selfish way, and if it is coming through as selfish or needing to be selfish, it's in a beneficial way, not in a way that you're being like, I'm not, snubbery. I don't know why that word is coming through, but it's not like that. It's more that you have to take care of you so that you can fill your cup up. It's that same thing, just keeps coming through. It's like a loop, and it's almost as if that's where you need to be thinking, okay? I have to fill my own cup up, but it's almost like you need to loop that within your own thought process, within your own mindset, within your own thoughts, right? You're loop that, okay? Loop that, loop that, loop that, and let that begin to be that new kind of way of thinking, or that new mindset that you hold, because then you can give so much more. I know it doesn't always seem that way, but it is how it comes out, okay? I do intend this resonated with you and for you. If it did, please do hit the like button and share this video. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. Also, feel free to hit the subscribe button right down below and the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload new readings. It is free for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and it does support the Lucky Stars community in growing and thriving. Also, check out the members area, 3 different levels, lots of different perks. See which one is the best for you. Hop on in. We would love to have you. And check out the second channel, That Wild Spark. Again, subscribe over there, subscribe over here. You're more than welcome on both. And as always, I do wish you lots of hope, lots of joy, and lots of love with all of your current and future endeavors. I'll see you in the next reading.